There you go. There you go.
Get it.
All right, let me know you're ready.
I'm ready. It's recording.
Quiet on the set. So what's up, everybody? Today we're going to get through our warm-up. So as a coach, two of the most important things we want to focus on when we run is the warm-up and the cool-down. So I'm going to take you through a couple of drills that I typically do and some takeaways that you guys can do. So if you are on my YouTube, please download the PDF that I've provided for you and then kind of follow along and take these steps into your races, into your everyday workout, and apply the cool down after every single run. All right, so we're gonna get into it. Stay tuned. Thank you. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned to what I have to show you. All right, so typically before you start a lot of these drills, you should get half a mile to 1 mile before your race or your run. For a lot of people, you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot. It's really not. The point of running is to build yourself up to be able to do that because the body can handle anything. So once you start building yourself, you start practicing, it will become very, very easy for you to do. We are doing a dynamic warm-up. There's a couple of different warm-ups out there. You have static warm-up where you're just stretching. Dynamic is movements. We want to be very flexible and agile when we run. So the first one we're going to do is a forward swing, all right? So we're getting our body warmed up and we're moving like this. Getting a nice little rhythm, and we're moving down the track. Typically, I do this for about 20 meters or so, and then on the way back, you would do it again, but then you also want to do a side shuffle. So as you look at the warm-up card, you will see that I also have a side skip, okay? And then also you want to do a backward skip, and you want to be very intense getting the body awoken here, okay? So those arm movements are very important because arms and our legs work together when we run. So remember these mechanics as I go through the warm-up. The next one is going to be scoops. So scoops work where I'm scooping through my hip here and all the way through my foot. And what we're doing is we're stretching out that hamstring. So we're gonna alternate legs and scoop through. Get a nice good stretch. Get that foot out and stretch all the way through. Just like that, okay? So we're gonna turn around and do another drill. So you should feel that your hamstrings were stretching through that part. We're gonna also do what I call these hamstring walk-ups. We're gonna be here, come out, and you're parallel, and then you're gonna walk up like this. Very, very close to your hands and walk out. It may feel uncomfortable because you are stretching the body, stretching your arms and legs, okay? So these are some of the first few stretches you do in the warm-up. I'm gonna take you through some more, but really make sure you stretch out those hamstrings and those arms dynamically. We'll get into static stretching, but first we have to do it dynamically. So next up, we're gonna do our toe touches, all right? So we're still kind of moving the body, getting the body flexible. So how this is, you're gonna come up with your right leg and hit your left arm on your toe. So it's like this, and you're just gonna walk down, really getting that toe up, up, getting it up, okay? Once you do that, then I typically like people to sprint in between the warm-up because really we're getting ready for a race. We're getting our hips strong and our body moving. So I'm gonna take a sprint down. I'm gonna come back and do skip lunge because now we're working our hips, okay? So generally you can do a waterfall start. There's 4-point start and 3-point start. I'll teach you those later. But today we're just gonna do a quick start. So I normally have my athletes sprint like 50 or 60 meters. But for the example, I'm just showing you how I'm getting my body really worked up. So once you come back, gather your breath. This warm-up is gonna make you tired, it's gonna make you sweat, but it's really gonna get you warmed up. So next, we're gonna do a skip lunge. Coming here, you're gonna skip on your right side, and then you're gonna alternate. So alternate here, and alternate. I'll show you one more time, because the important piece of this skip lunge is that you're using your arms, just like we run, okay? Skip, see how my arm is here? Good, skip, alternate, keeping that running motion. All right, so we're gonna get into some more drills. Don't give up, it's gonna get you really nice and warm for your race. We're gonna get into toe bounding. So the point of track is to be very, very quick on your toes, right? So we're gonna do a straight leg toe bound, and it's gonna look like this. So we're skipping and popping off your toe and using your arms. So the bigger your arms are, the bigger your legs will be. Okay? The next one is fast left leg, fast right leg. So if you're looking at the PDF, it's fast L/R. So we're gonna get a little movement here and come up like that. Now the reason we're doing that is because we're activating that quick twitch muscle and we're making sure our foot is coming up and it's dorsiflexed here. So we're gonna do this again. Up, up, up. So you're constantly moving up and down, up and down. The next two movements I'm gonna show you is called A skip and B skip. Almost every track runner does A skips and B skips. So with an A skip, you're coming up, driving the hip and getting that knee drive up, keeping this toe always flexed. Always keep your toe flexed. And you're just shifting that movement up and down, up and down. And when you come down, you wanna make sure that you're powerful on the ground. Power is what really accelerates a runner, whether you're a distance or a sprinter. That's really what's gonna accelerate you, okay? Next one we're gonna look at is B skips. So B skips is just like A skips. You're coming up, dorsiflex, foot up, because that's how we run in a marching formation. And you come up and you come out for the B. Really getting that foot down. And when you get the foot down, it comes back under your center of gravity, okay? So we come out. And on the PDF, you'll see how many meters you should go, but generally that's what it looks like to do a straight leg toe bound, A skip and B skip, and fast leg left and fast leg right. So study those and continue to do those movements, and you will see a lot of big difference in your runs. And so I'm gonna show you some other couple of movements, only a few more, and then we're gonna get to the cool down. Okay, so most of you are familiar with karaoke, but we're gonna do karaoke track style. Karaoke track style is basically using mechanics such as the A skip to really get the knee up in your karaoke. So as I do my karaoke, see how I'm popping there? So I'll show you again. I'm doing my normal karaoke, but I'm coming up in a track formation, okay? So we're doing a karaoke, coming up like that. And if I do it on the way back, you'll see the same thing. Up, dorsiflex, foot up, arms in motion, okay? And I can do it here, up, I can do it back. Okay, so you wanna make sure that you're keeping this formation, which we call the A skip, and you're using it in your karaoke. So it's not about how fast you're going. The warm-up is about mechanics and getting the body flexible and moving through a lot of different drills. So next, I'm gonna show you some leg swings. And we generally do the leg swings after we do the karaoke, so make sure you grab something that you can hold on to. And we're gonna start with leg swings forward. So we're gonna do Typically on the sheet, do 10, but I'll do 3 for the example. Come up, just like toe touches. Coming up and back. Notice when my foot goes back, my arm goes back. Why is that? Because the body's connected, okay? You do it from here. Once you do that side, you do it from here, okay? And then you make sure you get that leg, okay? So we're going from side, front, side here, this side, switching, and then that side, okay? So we're just making sure we're swinging our legs. So typically when I finish my warm-up, that was the last segment for that. I always hit another sprint, but on the card you'll see during the warm-up I have different sprints that you can do. And then that would kind of conclude the warm-up there. So you'll be sprinting, you'll be doing different movements, A skips and B skips, and then we kind of go into a static stretch. Once you finish your warm-up, you can do right arm stretch, left arm stretch. Really getting that upper body stretched out. I typically stand up tall and I come down. You can stretch to your right, and we go about 10 seconds there and stretch to your left. Now you can static stretch because you've did your dynamic stretch, and you can also come down the middle. Go to the side, go to this side, and come down here. And make sure you rock back and forth to really stretch your inner legs out, okay? Then, once we do that, we come down here and make sure we stretch to the right. You really don't need a lot of static stretching, but you want to make sure that you are able to get any knots out. So I'm stretching here, down the middle, making sure you touch your toes, okay? Obviously, I have a lot of flexibility that I can touch a lot of my toe, and some people don't have a lot of flexibility. That's one of the first things I look at in an athlete in the beginning of the season, but if they can stretch, I know they got pretty decent flexibility and speed. So do these stretches, stretching your hips. Hips are very important for running because a lot of your power will come from your hips. And once you get in some good stretches, feel free to get in another sprint. And then I'm gonna show you the cool down. But before I show you the cool down, I'll do one more sprint for you. So remember, we're standing here. If you wanna do a 3-point start, you can come down here, but we won't worry about that today. But we just come here. We're gonna get into this cool down, and hopefully you feel warmed up, you got a nice sweat. And every time you're warming up, you're visualizing, you're thinking about the race. You got Muhammad Ali talking in your head, and you're thinking about how you're gonna attack this race, you're getting ready. Warm-up is really warming up the mind. So let's get into this cool down. Okay, so generally, let's say you just finished your run. Now typically in the warm-up, I do have my athletes do hurdle drills, but we wanna keep it real simple today. I wanna teach you the basics of warming up, just very basics. Now, I'm gonna use the analogy of the plane like I did before. Once the plane lands, the ride is not over. That's why they tell you keep your seatbelts in. So once you stop running, the ride is not over. You want to make sure that you cool down, just like that plane lands and it comes to a cool down phase before you get off. So when my run is over, I want you to run at least for about 2 to 3 minutes. For some of you, that may be a lot, but it's going to prevent you from getting injured. It's going to prevent you from so many things, and you want to get your body back to a resting state. You want to make sure that your body is getting to a calm resting state and your joints are coming back and your blood and the oxygen is returning back to a normal state. So get you a foam roller after you run for about 3 minutes, kind of stretch it out, talk to a friend. You want to feel good. You just finished a mile, 3 miles, 6 miles, 10 miles, or you just sprinted and you want to feel good about it. So get a few stretches in, use your foam roller. So you want to come out, and I can definitely put the description of where I get my recovery items, and you want to make sure that you're rolling the body out. Another good one that I have is this one. It's called a roll recovery, and this one gets very deep tissue in case you're running for like extreme miles or you're sprinting a lot. The body is like a rubber band. It gets tight and it stretches out and gets tight. So you want to make sure that you're making sure all your muscles are feeling loose, and then you want to just kind of stretch the body out and make sure everything is returning to a normal state. Now, let's say you finished your 3-minute run, you've rolled out, you stretched, and you're going home. Can you believe it's still not over? So when you go home, you want to make sure that you are icing, you're applying any type of therapy, that you're eating nice, good foods, because the body's like a plane. When the plane lands, it has to refuel itself because it has another trip to take. The next day, you have other things you have to do. So you have to refuel, you have to ice, and you have to eat recovery drinks. This is a lifestyle, this is a process, this is a very disciplined sport. Running is ultimately a sport, and you gotta be serious about it. So from when you warm up, all the way to your cool down, even through the workout, even when you get home, make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're refueling, and make sure you are taking your warm up, your workout, your cool down, and your at-home remedies very seriously. Because your girl, Coach Bambi, is telling you to be the best version of yourself. This is what you need to do because you have the best coach in the world. Those are the tips that I offer. So thank you for tuning in today. Please make sure you like, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, brown_Bambi, and I will definitely have more tips, hurdles, drills, and things to make you a much better athlete and person overall. Thank you.